Hey guys, it's Molly here, and today I want to talk about something that is near and dear to my heart and something that I get asked about all the time. So my husband Kevin and I have been married almost 20 years, and he loves that I put that out there all the time. He's like, people are gonna figure out how old we are if you keep saying that. But anyway, we both have owned our own businesses for about 5 years now, and we work together a lot, and we still love each other and get along. And so people are like, wait, what's the magic here? Like, what's your secret sauce and how do you make it work? And so today I wanna give you 11 of my top tips on how to work with your spouse. So even if you don't have your own business, these will still help you because we all have to live together and work together to make life work great in our households, especially as we raise kids and everything like that. So I hope that these 11 tips will help you. I hope that you take some notes, and here we go. The first one is something that I learned from my mom when I was younger, and she always used to say to me, we need to be really good at communicating. And that is one thing that Kevin and I are really good about. And you know, we're always talking about our feelings, and we don't say things like, you know, you need to do this and things like that. We will use words like, I feel this way, and can we talk about this? And so having a good way to communicate is key, and not through text. We don't communicate like that, but always trying to talk live and really just be clear about what it is that we want, rather than assuming that the other person knows what we're thinking. I mean, for so many years, I used to think that Kevin could read my mind, and I literally just discovered in the last couple of years that he can't. He doesn't have that superpower, darn it. And so communication is key. You will reach your goals so much better, so much faster, and you will get along so much more when you really make communication a really top priority. My number 2 tip is to set goals together. So we sit down on January 1st, the first day of the year, we take time to do this, and we both write out our top 10 goals and for the year. And then we look at each other's, and it's so crazy. We're usually on the same page. Then we keep those goals, and at the end of the year, we always look back, and it's like, check, 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 we've reached every goal. It's really crazy, but if you don't put your goals on paper and you're not on board together, then it's really hard to even reach them because they're just kind of out there, you know what I mean? It's just a wish. And so doing yearly goals is super important. We always do monthly goals, so at the beginning of the new month, I know it sounds like a pain, but taking this time out together to really map out what it is that you want as a couple and as business partners is so important. Then, of course, we set weekly goals, and Kevin and I have what we call our weekly Monday meeting, and we sit down and we talk about what it is that we need to accomplish, how we're going to do it, how we're going to do it all, you know, as we raise our kids and we're there with them because they are our top priority, but we do have weekly meetings. So that is actually tip number 3. So you communicate, then you set your goals, and then you have weekly meetings to really sit down and map out what it is that you want and how you're going to accomplish it for the week. And when you have that weekly meeting, when you have all those things that you want to accomplish, key thing here is to make a plan of action. So not just say, we need to get this done. It's like, when are we going to get this done? How are we going to get this done? And who's going to do it? So those are 3 ways so far that Kevin and I really have been successful working together while also staying close as a couple. Number 4 is always to be open to discussion when it comes to your plans and your plans of action. And so, you know, sometimes I'll think one way is perfect and Kevin will have his own opinion, but we're always open to like talking and being open and honest and really trying to figure out the best way to make things happen, because sometimes I will be in la la land or we just have different brains. And so we really have to sit down and discuss the best plan when it comes to our priorities, so they are always in line with what it is that we want in our lives. And as you've heard so far, our kids are our number 1 priority. And so whenever we're trying to figure something out, we always think, okay, does this work with our kids' schedules? Does this work with what we want for them? Are we home as much as possible for them, which is always what we wanted to do, and to just be there for them. And so always we look at our plans when it comes to our business and our family life and everything to make sure that our kids are taken care of and they're good. Of course, we want them to be independent kids. We're not like those helicopter parents, but we're like, hey, is this cool? Is this gonna work? Awesome. If we both give the thumbs up, then it works. Okay, my 5th way that Kevin and I stay together as business partners and in our marriage is something I actually learned from Brendon Burchard. Don't you love Brendon Burchard? Oh my goodness. I was at one of his business conferences about 2 years ago, and he said that he recommends couples, even if you're not working together, that you go away every 90 days. And, you know, it could just be, it doesn't have to be something super expensive. It could be like a night away. It could even just be a picnic at the park. But Kevin and I actually try to take a couple nights every 90 days away to really just focus on one another. So being that we work together, we feel like we're talking about business a lot and we're always, you know, doing everything for our businesses and our kids. It's nice to just go and be him and I together. And so that really strengthens our marriage. We get to really talk about things other than work and kids when we're away. And so I recommend this to you. Give it a try. All right, and number 6 is go on date night and make it a priority for yourselves. So Kevin and I have Thursday night date night. Honestly, we go and do something every Thursday night. And even if we have an hour, we make it happen. But most of the time, our son is at church, our daughter's doing something, and we make it a priority to go and have a quiet dinner together, or we make dinner together, and we don't talk about work or anything like that. It has to do with our professional lives. But we really just try to connect with each other and just enjoy each other. And, you know, going on 20 years and we still have fun together, I think there's something to be said for date night. So give it a try. And if you have little ones, find someone to babysit them for 2 hours. You owe it to yourself and your spouse, or ask grandma or a neighbor. You know, reach out and ask for help, because this is something that you guys deserve. And so really do your best to make it happen. All right, number 7 is to always talk kindly to each other. So even in those moments of frustration and stress, especially if you work together, you've got to just breathe and think through before you speak. I've learned this the hard way, I think. And it's just really good to just think rationally and put yourself in your spouse's shoes and just really, really come from a place of love. Even though you are talking business, you have to always know that there is a human being behind that person that you are speaking to. And to piggyback off that, number 8 is to listen to one another. And so, you know, like Kevin and I will be talking, and sometimes as he's speaking, I'm thinking in my head, what am I going to say next? Or, you know, I don't agree with this, so I'm frustrated. What I need to do is just listen to him, because most of the time he makes a lot of sense. And it's good to have that back and forth conversation. So always listen to your spouse, and they love you no matter what. And so it's good for you guys to give each other that attention undivided when one another is speaking. Okay, and this one is awesome, and it's been a game changer for Kevin and I. So we've had some really big projects this last year, and sometimes when you think of the big projects together, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. Where do we even start? And so you don't even start, right? Because you're just so freaked out about it. So instead, Kevin and I both sit down with our project idea and we map out, we literally brain dump. And I learned this in a mentorship group that I was in with Shalene and Brett Johnson. They're awesome. Follow Shalene if you don't yet. But we sat there in this group and we were told to just brain dump. Anything that came into our heads about what we needed to do to get that project rolling was going down on paper. And so Kevin and I did this. We were like, what's next? And what's next? And what's next? We mapped out the project together. And then from there, we broke it up into tasks that needed to be done in a time frame. Like this needs to go first, second, third, fourth, fifth. But when you do this together as a couple, you get so excited together, rather than one person just going, yay, and the other one's like, you're together in it, you know, and you're a team. And so that's another tip that I have. Be a team player, and know that you are in this together. And it's so much more fun to work together toward a big goal. It's also kind of romantic. All right, and this is my last tip. Know who is the wow and who is the how. I was reading John Acuff's book, Start today, and he actually gives credit to the original person who said the how and the wow. I don't remember his name at this moment, but I love that. So Kevin always says, I'm the wow, because I'm a little bit crazy and I get excited about ideas and I don't mind getting on video and sharing it with people, and he's the how. So if I have a big idea, if you have a big idea, you need to ask your spouse to help you with it. They are probably the how. So they will figure out all of the logistics, all of the business details, what you need to do, all of that good stuff. So know who the how is and know who the wow is. It could be flip-flopped. Your spouse could be the wow, you could be the how, and that totally happens. I have plenty of friends who are the how and their spouse is the wow. And then I love this, I learned this, you know, one of you might be a cone, one of you might be a bulldozer, and what that means is you need to know who is the person who's just willing to go for it and who's the person who's the cone who's going to be cautious. When you know that, you can work a lot more together and be like, okay, bulldozer, slow down for a second here. Let's think through if this is possible and what needs to be done. And sometimes the cone is very cautious and the bulldozer is like, come on, come on, come on. And the cone might need that a little bit. So when you know your roles as spouses together in a business, you will know so much better how to deal with your relationship and how to be that much more successful in your business and in your life together. So I hope this video helps you. I know that it's possible to work well with your spouse, to be successful, to do what you love, and to also get along with them and love them each day and have a really long-lasting relationship, because it's worked for me and I want the same for you. So I hope this helps. Be sure to comment, ask me any questions, subscribe to Molly Motivates, and share it with a friend. You never know who needs to hear this message. Thanks so much. All right, so one thing that I have made a habit to do is to write out my list for the entire week of everything I need to get done on Sunday evening.